Good morning, welcome to NMS. So let's talk about for a second weak stubborn body parts, and we'll look at it from a point of view of what's in your control and what's out of your control. So what's out of your control? Genetics, okay? You can't do anything about the muscle bellies. If you've got short biceps, short triceps, high lats, high calves, there isn't anything you can do about that particular thing. The muscle bellies have their length, and there isn't anything you can do about that. So you can't change the actual shape of the muscle, but you can obviously build it. Okay, so if you've got very high calves, they're going to be high calves. You're stuck with that problem, and they're not going to look as impressive as calves that go lower. So trying to change your muscle belly is out of your control. Fast twitch fibers. If you've got a genetically gifted body part that has a lot of fast twitch fibers and has the ability to grow muscle, then you're going to be able to build that muscle quicker, okay? It's going to respond to weight training and it's going to build. That's a great thing, but unfortunately, you can't do anything about it if you've got slow twitch fibers and you've got a body part that doesn't respond as well to weight training. And doing high reps is not going to make a difference to that because fast twitch fibers have more of an ability to expand, slow twitch fibers don't, okay? So fast twitch fibers have a greater propensity for hypertrophy than slow twitch fibers. So doing high reps is not going to make a difference to muscle growth. What about bone lengths? Okay, so let's say you're a tall person with long limbs. So that means that you have to go and put greater amounts of muscle mass on to look bigger. There's not much you can do about that. If you're a tall person with long legs, especially long arms, you only can build the muscle, okay, to the best of your ability, and there's not much you can do about the actual, the length of the muscle belly itself, okay, in terms of the bone length. So what's in your control? Okay, training. So you can look after the form. You make sure you're doing your form correctly. So whatever muscle group you're training, you make sure that you're actually moving the correct joint, okay, in order to go and build that muscle. And you also understand, how to select exercises that will hit certain parts of that muscle group, okay? So for example, chest, picking an upper, a middle, and a lower part to the chest. And for lats, picking one that's going to hit the upper lats, one that hits the lower lats, one that hits the traps. You pick the right exercises for that particular sort of muscle group, and you do it in correct form. Intensity. So you're lifting a heavier weight and you're lifting close to failure or to failure. If you're not training with greater intensity, and a lot of people have this thing of spamming body parts. The volume doesn't matter, guys, it's the intensity. If you're not training with high intensity, there's not much you can do about it. That body part's not going to grow if you're not giving it what it needs to grow. Now, what about progression? Well, obviously, getting stronger on a body part is important. If you've got one that doesn't have a lot of fast twitch fibers, you're not going to be able to progress that body part quickly because it doesn't have fast twitch fibers that are explosive and have the ability to be stronger. Okay, so you've got to work at whatever rate that the muscles will grow at. Recovery. So you're making sure that you get good recovery on that body part. The biggest problem that people have is they think, weak body part, I'll just train it more. Well, if it's not recovering, how's that going to make that body part bigger? You've got to focus on the things of intensity, form, and then, obviously progression, and then you've got to look after the recovery side of things, okay? Including nutrition, including sleep. Priority. So if you've got a weak body part and you put it at the end of the workout, it's obviously not going to get the same priority as a stronger body part, okay? If you put it at the beginning of the workout, it gets greater priority. You have more energy, you have more ability to go and work it to its maximum. So if you're not giving that body part the priority it needs, and people do this all the time with calves, my calves won't grow. Well, of course they're not going to grow if you give them 3 sets at the end of a workout. If you want your calves to grow, they need to be given priority at the beginning of a workout and not at the end of a workout. Okay? If your arms are not growing, don't put them at the end of a back workout because they don't have the ability to obviously, be able to contract hard because they've already done a lot of work with back. So if you've got body parts that need prioritization, give them that prioritization. Okay, don't treat them as an afterthought because they'll look like an afterthought. And sometimes you have to take some of the volume from a stronger body part, give that less, priority, and give greater priority to a weaker body part. Anyway, guys, hopefully that was helpful for you. Okay, like, comment, share, follow my page, and if you've got any questions on this presentation, by all means, send me a message, and I'll do my best to respond.